Jim McCarty of the Yardbirds, the last man standing in that band. He's the drummer, talks about 10cc's Graham Gouldman before 10cc writing hits for the band. Graham Gouldman, I talked to him about 2 years ago, and I was familiar, and I know that I'd ask him, I said, well, you were just a young buck back then. You were just, people didn't necessarily know your name, right? How did you guys end up recording his songs?
It just went through like everyone else. It went through the management and manager to manager. And I think it came up with a publisher. When publishers used to be pluggers and used to go around with their acetate records and say, "Oh, do you want to hear this record for your next this acetate for your next record?" And there was a guy from a company called Feldman's that became part of EMI, and he saw us playing with the Beatles, and he thought he had the demo of "For Your Love." And he just thought, "Oh, this band would suit this song. I'll approach their management." So that's how it happened.
At what point did you think that, okay, we got something here? What stage was it where you thought this might have longevity? I know you guys were around for like 63 to 68, but you did a lot in that time. Like you said, you have said many times, we lived lifetimes in that time. When did you know something was going on?
Well, I don't know. We always thought it was very, it always looked very healthy. It was building the whole time, all that time was, but we never thought it would go on like now. I mean, we never thought into the future anyway. It was just, oh, let's get the next tour sorted or the next record.
I noticed the mantra now, and every fan can understand this. If you ask any fan, just like you, like a rock and roller who's done all these great things, but if you ask a fan, okay, you expected them to know at the time when they were in their 20s, but you come up to any fan and ask them, were you thinking about being 50 when were you thinking about the future when you were 20? No one was.
No, exactly.
Why? No. Why would you think about being 50 or 60 when you're 20?
Well, that was a horrible thought.
Yeah. Jim McCarty, you walk into the doctor's office and there's a guy beside you and he looks over at you, and do you want to go there? Because your story is, once you go there, your story's not small. The guy looks at you and he says, so what do you do? Or what did you do? Or whatever. Do you go there? Do you say, well, I'm in a little rock band? Because if you say that, they're going to say, do you know any songs that I would know? Because that's a long conversation. You know what I'm saying, though, right? Do you go there? If you're at a party, a get together, someone says, what's your modus operandi when people ask you, what do you do?
Yes, I didn't used to tell people. I used to just, shy away from it. Just say, well, I do some music sometimes or something. But no, I'm pretty forthright now. I'd say, oh, well, I was in a 60s band, that was big. It's usually before your time. And that's usually what I say. Oh, it's before your time. You might have heard of us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.